Hey guys, it's Erin here, and I want to say happy Valentine's Day. And Valentine's Day can be a rough time of the year, let me tell you. If you're anything like me, I was a disaster when I was younger with Valentine's Day. You know, I'd grown up in this culture where I had watched these movies, I had read these books, and I thought that there was this particular style of romantic love, that there was going to be some man in my life that was going to ride up on a white horse and whisk me off my feet and fulfill all of my dreams, and I would be happy and happily ever after. So guess what? The screech of the, record goes right there. So when I was in elementary school, we had these little notes. I don't know if you guys remember them. They still have them, but little Valentine's cards, and you would give them out to, all the people in your class, and it was kind of a competition, like who got more Valentine's cards and all this stuff. And then as I got into junior high, it was this drama of completely my entire identity was whether my friends, liked me or not, if guys liked me, if girls liked me, whatever it was this huge devastation if people didn't like me or didn't want to date me or whatever that was. It became a real huge identity. My entire identity was wrapped up in. And then as I got into high school, I had a long-term relationship, and I realized that my entire life was contingent upon that relationship. When it was good, I was good. When it wasn't good, I was not good. So my entire life, I handed my power. I started becoming more and more codependent, as they call it. And I didn't realize that, love was not inside of me. I had placed everything of what I thought love was out into the circumstances of my life, how that showed up for me. And then when I grew up, I got married, and I've had to do a lot of amends because I didn't even know how to love myself. I didn't even know how to love myself, and so how could I have ever loved another? And I began to become more and more depressed in my marriage because I thought that when you got married that it was supposed to be happily ever after. And so I was very shocked when I got married and it wasn't happily ever after. And I began to become more and more depressed. And as you guys know my story, I had a stillborn when I was 22 in my marriage, and I had my spiritual awakening, and I began to do my spiritual work. And this was not easy. It was not, oh, I'm doing my spiritual work now, it's all good. No, it was an intense, some of the hardest work I'd ever done, because I had to strip away all of the layers of my consciousness, all of my identity. And it can be very scary because all of a sudden you're like, who am I? If I'm not, a woman that's supposed to catch a man, then who am I? If I'm not a woman who's pretty and guys want me, then who am I, right? And this is a stigma generalization, but this was my experience of it. And as I began to do my internal spiritual work, I had to strip away all of that. And it became this very scary and liberating thing. But I finally began to, over many years, it was 19 years ago that I began my meditation process. 22 years ago began my spiritual process. And it was literally like peeling away the layers of my consciousness of what I thought romantic love was. And so as I got further and further down this track of doing the spiritual work, I began to awaken. I awoke into my it's really a true identity shift when we awaken. So I awoke into the fact that I am love, that the only source of love is within me, and that's building the unity of love within myself, and that all other relationships are a projection and a reflection of my ability or inability to love. And so when you awaken to that great shift, Valentine's Day shifts. It's an entirely different thing. So I have a call to action for you today for Valentine's Day, and that is to love life, to love yourself. So if you're single, it is to love and date yourself fully and fully love yourself. If you are in a relationship, no longer point the finger or think the person should bring a great Valentine's Day experience to you, that you bring that to life, that you get to create the best Valentine's Day and experience for you and your partner. If you're married, same thing. No longer point the finger and think that they should create whatever it is. They should do whatever. Let go of the expectations this Valentine's Day and step fully into being love and creating whatever it is that you desire to experience for Valentine's Day. For me, I'm going to be with my girlfriends up in Santa Barbara for a reunion and for a funeral. And so I am demonstrating this is a divine Valentine's Day, that my ultimate partner is divine, and that I accept fully wherever I am in life, with love and grace for my friends, for my community, for intimacy, for whatever that is, wherever I am in that sacred moment. And so I know today, right now, that the truth, which is I am love, and the source of love is within each and every one of us, and that we can never, ever have a lack of love, that it comes down to us, that we have done that to ourselves. And so I throw out being a victim, I throw out any expectation, all the delusion of what romantic love was projected through my culture, through my family, through movies, through all that, knowing that this divine day, this Valentine's Day, is the divine day to awaken to this true self, which is divine love. Namaste.